Minecraft has so many cool biomes. Today we look at Bioplentia created by Mark Jones, which adds several new biomes to your world, such as rainforests, bayous, cherry blossom forests, and a few more. Let's get right into the showcase. Now first off, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the blocks and some of the items that you're going to be able to obtain. If you want to find any of the blocks, you can simply look in the creative inventory, and so you can find the cherry planks, you can find all the new plants, or if you really wanted to, you could click on the magnifying glass, scroll all the way down to the bottom, then you can find all the items all together, so that way you don't have to search through every single tab. So right here, we have some lanterns. We have paper lanterns for oak, spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak, and the new cherry wood, which is personally one of my favorites. In order to craft them, it's going to be just like this. Now just replace the planks with the appropriate planks. Now these blocks right here are the blocks that you can find in the new cherry grove biome. So you can find cherry wood bark, cherry wood logs, cherry stripped wood, and cherry stripped wood logs. Then you have the planks themselves, and we have ourselves the cherry leaves and the white cherry leaves, which look really awesome. And I think that whenever you find these and you end up breaking the leaves, they have a chance of dropping cherries. So if I come in here and I have cherries, foods are actually broken in this version of the add-on. It's making my end go really slow. We have resolved a bunch of new plants. White daisies. We have vanilla vines, red daisies. We have cattails, bluebells, a new type of cactus, and there's even roots and mistletoes, which the mistletoe can only be hung on leaves. It can be any kind of leaf that you want, I believe. Then we have the roots. Now, as well know, roots actually are coming to Minecraft in the 1.17 update. They only do about half-hearted damage, but they are still quite painful to stand on. Plus, some of them can be turned into dyes. Then we have the final three items, which we have vanilla sticks, we have frog foots, and the cooked frog foot. And if you really wanted to, you could also use this to make a poison potion. So if I put this right out of there, and you wait a little bit of time, then this should end up giving us a poison potion. And there we go. Finally, another way of getting a poison potion instead of looking for those spider eyes. There's also going to be some brand new mobs that you can discover. So you can find snails, you can find dragonflies, you have moths, you have frogs, and there's even ducks, and finally butterflies, which the butterflies, they do come in different colors, which is quite nice. But we're going to begin with the first biome, which is going to be the Bayou. Now this is basically like a normal swamp in your world, but instead of having land, it's going to be all covered with water and trees everywhere. And so this will be a perfect biome to go to if you want to get yourself an extra source of vines. But other than that one, would you want to live in a place like this? Probably. Like, I really don't know. If it's up to you. If you enjoy watery areas, then this will probably be the perfect place for you. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at the next biome, which is the pumpkin fields. Now this is a place that I would not mind living in. I wouldn't want to live near that villager outpost, that's for sure. But for this biome, this is a pretty cool looking biome. And probably the best place to go if you want to get yourself tons of pumpkins so you can make those lovely iron golems, or just depending on what you want to make. But this is a pretty cool biome. There's just all the pumpkins everywhere. This will definitely be a really good source of pumpkins. And maybe you can make a house inside one of these pumpkins as well. Now think about a standard desert in Minecraft, and imagine it with extra foliage and extra plants on the ground. Well, this is going to be the outcome. You get the dunes. So you get yourself a new type of oak tree, which looks like it's dying a little bit. There's also dead grass, the little tiny cactuses that you saw earlier, plus there's the aloe veras as well. Now the Outback is a combination of a plains and a mesa. So you get yourself the red sand, and you get yourself some regular grass. There's also going to be shrubs that you can find around the area as well. Now just point out, there is another version of this, which is called the shrubland. But it's going to look like a normal desert, but with bushes all over the place. And now I could not find that biome, which is quite unfortunate. But as you look throughout the world, then maybe you have better luck than me, and maybe you'll be able to find yourself that new type of biome. So our next biome is the Coniferous Forest in the Coniferous Forest Hills. Now lucky for me, I was able to find both of these biomes together. They are quite common to find together. But we got ourselves this Coniferous Forest, and my goodness, I would absolutely love to build inside this biome. This looks amazing because you got yourself those big giant spruce trees, but they look more like Christmas trees now. Probably the world's biggest Christmas tree, but that's definitely what they're reminding me of. But I could imagine building like a log cabin somewhere, or building a type of camp could you imagine just camping out in the middle of this forest? Now this biome is not complete until you find yourself the bluebells, which are found right here. So if you want to find bluebells, then this is the specific biome they need to find. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next biome, which is another version of these two biomes, but it is the snowy coniferous forests and hills. It's basically the same as the previous biome, but just with snow everywhere. Now the rainforest, I love this biome quite a bit. It's basically a savanna and a jungle combined into one. So whenever you find these, you got yourself the acacia looking trees, but they're not acacia trees. These are any type of jungle tree. So you can find your jungle wood, you can find your melons. So basically everything that makes the jungle special, you can find inside this new biome. But unfortunately, I really don't know if you can find jungle temples. But let's move on to my second favorite biome. And this is probably the most beautiful biome that Mark Jones has introduced. Now this is called the Cherry Blossom Grove. This is a beautiful biome. So you can find all the new blocks we saw earlier. So like the cherry wood logs, you can find the new leaves. And as I mentioned before, if you break these leaves, you have a chance of getting cherries. Now another thing about these is that these will emit some really cool dust particles. And I love this effect a lot. It really makes the biome feel a lot more alive. And now for our final biome of today's video, this is the Shattered Taiga. Now think about the terrain of the Shattered Savanna. You got your floating islands, the crazy caves, the really high peaks. So basically everything that makes that terrain special on the Shattered Savanna is going to be over on this biome, but it's going to be a taiga forest instead. Now in order to install this add-on, when you are downloading this, there is something else you need to download, and it is called MAPI. So you can find that towards the bottom where the changelog is. So it says you need MAPI to play with Bioplentia. So whenever you click on this, it's going to take you to the download site to where you can then go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and you can download this add-on. And this will work for both 1.16 stable and beta. Whenever you're installing this add-on to your world, you need all the day creator features, you need a creation of custom biomes, and additional modding capabilities. The cave and cliffs is optional. You do not need to install that if you don't want to. Then in behavior packs, click on Bioplentia and click activate. Whenever you go down to resource packs, both resource packs for MAPI and Bioplentia, both of those should be installed automatically. To simply click on create. And there you go, that is it for everything that is part of Bioplentia. If you do want to get this, there will be a link down below in the description. And for now, I will catch you next time. Bye!